This is a presentation I gave at Dolvin Elementary School on the 21st of February of 2017, and I'm condensing it down to less than 15 minutes, but I'm including some of the answers to questions that people asked um, in the parent seminar. And about a dozen people there. We had the school social worker and the principal, and parents with the variety of ages of kids. Showed the Dolvin Twitter page. See that there, and not too many people had looked at it. It's interesting in our school district. Twitter is very popular with administrators and teachers. One of the things about Twitter is it gives them a outlet that they can broadcast and connect with other educators, share ideas. There's chats you can do. If you use hashtags like this hashtag up here, DigSit, you can type that into Twitter. One of the things about social media a lot of people don't realize is you don't have to have a social media account to look at social media pages. You can just go to Google and type in like the name of your band or something that you like, and the Twitter page will come up, or you know, type in Dolvin and the Twitter page will probably come up. And so you can type in the hashtag to search as well. So that's what I did with DigSit. It stands for Digital Citizenship. And says we can't tell our students not to use social media or be careful and then put our heads in the sand. Instead, we need to teach them how to be safe and responsible digital citizens, because they're going to use it anyways. Social media is here to stay. The world that we live in, the internet has changed things drastically, and we all want to keep our kids safe on the internet and safe in the real world, because the two worlds interact. We like to remind our kids that what you do online affects your offline life as well. And so here's another tweet that came up under the hashtag DigSit. It's from Emily Davis, and it is the Dolvin Media webpage that she wrote a blog post last year. So it's not like it was forever ago, but you know, things don't go away on the internet. You can find them. That's one of the things we also teach. Teach your kids anything you put out there, it's out there forever. Looking for ways to keep your student safe on his or her mobile device. Check out some options. And that blog post is still up there, and that has some good tips. So it's a great resource. Okay, so the next resource that I am recommending is Common Sense Media. Our school district uses Common Sense Media to teach our students digital citizenship. And for the parents, there are a lot of great tools on their website, and you can go to any of the pages. You can find movie reviews, family guides, but I highlighted the parent concerns. We're looking at privacy and internet safety, and there's other things that go along with that. Technology addiction, screen time. We all have to learn how to monitor our kids' screen time. Facebook, Instagram, social media. If you have questions about these things, click on those tabs. If you look down below, there's some questions. How do I protect my kids' privacy online? There's our answer, and then there's some comments. How do I keep my kids safe on the internet? And they have an answer and comments. And what are the best privacy settings for my computer and smartphone? And it's different. There's a lot of different phones and things like that, but it is way better than it used to be. We've got a lot more parental controls. Kids are a lot more apt to know some of these. I mean, they've gone through the digital citizenship training online, and so they're familiar with these things. They might still give you a hard time, but it's probably a lot easier than it was when I had my oldest, who's now 24, and the parental controls really didn't exist, and very few parents give rules, which is still kind of sad that a lot of parents don't give rules. That's why we hear in the news about 12-year-olds being on Kick and getting involved with somebody online that happens to be a 40-year-old man or something, and they're taken trafficked and they go meet them or something like that. And it happens. Those are real stories. In the Internet Safety 101 video, there's a girl who was 13 and her mom just was unaware, and that girl was taken, abducted, and luckily she was saved, and she speaks out now. I'm not sure how old, 25 or 26, and so this isn't just a horror story, a movie. It was real. It was real life, and we hear way too many stories in the news for this happening. But 12-year-olds, I asked my daughter, what would you say to the parents? She was like, she's 11. They don't need social media accounts, and they don't. And as a matter of fact, there's laws. I mean, they're really not even supposed to be on it, according to the terms of service for most of these social media, until they're 13, because they're not supposed to collect the information from kids. All right, so Common Sense Media, great resource. Digital citizenship training for parents. Parents, we didn't have this training because we weren't taught it. A lot of the parents now, younger parents, they have been taught it. So the parents of kindergartens, whatever, they grew up with technology. It still changes and evolves, but it's different than us who have 20-year-olds. And once again, I just pointed out that our pictures of our kids are on the internet, like it or not. Other people are taking pictures, even the schools, and they're posting pictures. And so it's just something to keep in mind of backgrounds and things like that. And teachers and educators should be aware of that as well. There is a partnership with PTA and Common Sense Media to help teach digital safety. And so there's a couple resources. We're in Georgia, so I'm pointing out the Georgia PTA. We have a link to the national PTA safety resources, but also Prevent Child Abuse Georgia. And we want to, be aware that there's a lot going on, and if we want to prevent child abuse, we've got to recognize the role that the internet is playing in it now, whether it's, kids showing each other pornography and wanting to act that out, or just viewing it and things like that, or the bullying and, adults. We hate to even think about adults and relatives or things like that that are exploiting children, and it's just another avenue that we need to be aware of, and we can do things about. So how do you find the PTA? I think the website has changed. I didn't update my slide from when I did it a couple years ago, but health and safety. You can click on that link, for families. Then you go to the next page, and you can go down and you see bullying prevention, connect for respect. You see digital safety and other important things, teen driver safety, violence prevention. But digital safety, you can click on that, and what can you do? We want to know, what can we do? There's a great interactive tool with the Smart Talk website. You just go to that website, the Smart Talk, click on the link here, pta.org. That's the only website. You have to remember, if you go to this for families, health and safety, digital safety, and you can find all these resources. And so PTA, we're the ones bringing you this message, and that's what you can find. So review the 7 steps to good digital parenting, and by the Family Online Safety Institute. And that, I went to that conference a couple of years ago in Washington, D.C., and it is great. Microsoft was there. They've got some great things. As I was saying, they just came out with they're forming a council for digital good teenagers, and we can help our students. I read another article about parents need to be better students, and there's a lot of stuff that we didn't learn because it didn't exist when we were in school, and so we kind of have to go back and learn some of that, and we can learn with our kids, and they can teach us, and that can be really fun. So start a conversation with your family, with your kids, and practice good digital citizenship. They can tell you what digital citizenship is because they're taught it in school. Socializing online, learning and gaming online, shopping online. Anyways, though, have fun conversations with stuff that matters to your kids and your family. Having an open dialogue. There is unlimited opportunities for us to learn and connect and share. And one of the things that is interesting to me is my daughter, she always wants the information, and she wants it right then and there. Sometimes it's like, we don't always have to get on technology to find that information. So let's think about it for a little bit. But we want the answers because they're there. And so let's just make smart decisions and talk about things. What can you do? And you can do the Smart Talk, do the digital parenting, and familiar yourself with laws that protect student data privacy. In Georgia, there's something, and I forgot what it was again, but going on in legislation. Talk with your kids. Stay calm. Talk early and often. Be open and direct. Educate yourself. Search online for anything you don't understand. Try out apps, games, educate yourself. Explore good digital parenting tips and resources. Use parental controls. They're there to help prevent accidental exposure. Monitor kids using their screen time. And in your iPhone, you can go to restrictions, and you set a passcode for your phone. It'd be annoying, but now with a thumbprint, it's not so annoying. You have to enter the code every time. But that just protects your private information. And you go to general, you go to restrictions, enter your restrictions passcode, or set one up if you don't have one yet. But right in there now, you can turn off Safari. They don't need Safari, Depends on the age of your kids and where you're at. You can turn off FaceTime, you can turn off AirDrop, you can turn off installing apps, deleting apps so that they have to ask you. You can turn off explicit music, and they're not going to have that. You can choose the ratings for the TV shows. You can, limit adult content on the website. There's a lot that you can do. I do a lot of house now, but there's also things like Net Nanny, Covenant Eyes, which has accountability software, and there's K9 is a free one. There's a lot, and you can choose the categories that you want for your family. Okay, here's a couple other things. Sign a family safety contract, and so I work with Educate and Empower Kids. In the back of one of our booklets, we have a media safety contract. There's other ones. There's Microsoft has one, and I like it for I teach Cub Scouts sometimes about their cyber chip program, and it asks what kind of game ratings can they play, and it talks more about games because boys especially like the video games. Friend and follow, but don't stalk. So friend your kids on social media, respect their online space, but encourage your kids to create a good digital reputation. Just remind them it follows them. It's there when they're going for job interviews and other things. And, would they be embarrassed if their kids saw it? And things like that. It's their whole lives. And learn from them. Have fun. But be a good digital role model. Know when to unplug, and it can be hard. But you can work together. So show your kids how to collaborate and create online, and they could probably show you how to do it if you're not sure. Learn more. Common Sense Media, that's the site that our schools use. Connect Safely, lots of great resources, and they have booklets on like a parent's guide to Snapchat, a parent's guide to Instagram, a parent's guide to other social media sites, the educator's guide. And then I mentioned Family Online Safety Institute. They have a lot of great information. NetSmarts is part of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they have a lot of resources as well. It's what the Boy Scouts have partnered with them to help teach the cyber safety. There's some additional resources. These are organizations I'm associated with or promote. Work with. I think they're great resources. Educate and Empower Kids, Protecting Minds. Street Grace is a local one here to Georgia. They fight the domestic minor sex trafficking, and they're recognizing more prevention efforts as well. They speak in a lot of churches, doing a lot of good. They're part of the Freedom Coalition here, and Youth Spark's part of that as well. Fight the New Drug, raises awareness about harm of pornography using science and facts and personal stories. The Georgia Coalition is part of the National Center on Sexual Exploitation as I'm focusing here in Georgia and helping connect other organizations that are working together. This is just one thing we did at the end. Net Nanny is like I said, a great site. 4 secret messaging apps parents need to know about, and asked what do you think those are. And well, you might know Snapchat because that's like that disappears, right? But there's WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger. That might be surprising, but those are all apps that kids can hide messages. There's all kinds of apps, and they're always changing. And so the best thing to do as we recognize all this is to build connection with our kids and to talk to them, to help them to understand that their choices follow them. There are a lot of predators, there's bullies, and there's things like that. And so we want to build our kids and help them follow the rules. What happens if they don't follow the rules with their devices? We're talking about that, and they lose them, and they're talked to, and that is all.